understanding going in that you can produce an amazing looking, sounding, design well, everything product. But it means nothing if you cannot be able to attract the dollars.
If you believe we can change the narrative, if you believe we can change our communities, if you believe we can change the outcomes, then we can change the world. I'm Rob Richardson. Welcome to Disruption Now. Welcome to Disruption Now. I'm your host and moderator, Rob Richardson. With me, excited to have my man, Roland Martin, from Roland Martin Unfiltered. He's interviewed presidents. He's now got the only daily digital show that features all things Black, from sports to politics. I have the pleasure and honor of being on a regular contributor on the show. Roland, how you doing, brother?
Man, all good, all good.
Yeah, man. Hey, so I love everything about Roland. He only made one mistake in life. He went Alpha Phi Alpha, but I'm still love him.
Oh, now you know they ain't no mistake. You know you belong to a little youth group. You know that.
We still love you, though. You know that.
You know that. You know without Alpha, y'all just tap aside. Y'all need Alpha. Come on now.
No, so man, look, you've been in the game for a long time, and I know you have a lot of wisdom to depart. Being in this game, being in media, having a lot of success. I'm sure having your challenges along the way. If you could take me back, I just get right into it. Take me back to when you first started. If you can talk to the young Roland Martin who just crossed Alpha Phi Alpha, just went through burning sands, and maybe a few years after, and you're on your way to start your career. What advice would you give to your younger self, and what advice would you ignore?
Well, I am a little bit different because for me in media, we go back before college.
Oh, okay. So, tell me more.
Yeah. So, and I know this may sound strange, but the advice that I would give, there is no additional advice I would give because I did exactly what I was supposed to. So I went to a communications high school.
Okay.
So Jack Yates High School, Magnet School of Communications. So I literally decided to do what I am doing when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
And it's a full scale program, television, radio, newspaper. We had all of that. And when I walked onto that campus, I said, I will be the best student that has ever come through this school of communications. Now, I didn't say I'm going to be the best while I'm here. I didn't say I'm going to be the best up until this point. I said I'm going to be the best that has ever walked through this school, meaning for the future as well.
Right. You said that at 14?
At 14.
Wow, okay.
So what that meant that I had to put myself in a state of mind where I'm going to do all that was required for greatness. That means I'm going to put the work in to learn the craft, the skill set, how to do it fast, how to do it efficiently, to be repetitive, to learn all aspects. So I chose television. We had to essentially choose a discipline, a major. So there were some students who chose radio, others who chose newspaper, others who chose television. I chose TV as primary, but I said I'm going to learn all of them. So I eventually took all the programs. Not all students did that. Photography was not a part of the School of Communications. It was the craziest thing. It was a part of our regular school. So we had Jack Yates High School, Magnet School of Communications. I had so many communications credits, they would not let me take photography class, and I was actually pissed. Now think about that. I was angry that I was not able to take a photography class because for me, that was a piece of the arsenal I did not have.
Right.
When I went to college, you had to own your own camera. Well, I couldn't afford my own still camera. So I never took photography when I was in college. And I said, the moment I graduate, when I have enough money, I'm buying my own camera. By that point, digital cameras came around. Kodak had one of the first digital cameras. It was a Kodak DC-210. I have no idea when the hell that camera is right now. But that was my first camera. And so I began to take photos. But the point is, when I was in high school, we had professionals who were coming through. If you were in the business, you did not come through that school and then you did not connect with me. I made it my mission. And so everything about my pursuit of media, it was no different than my high school is one of the greatest athletic programs in the country, in the state, in the country. So my attitude towards communications was the exact same as the brothers who were All-Americans on football field or who played basketball. And that was the mindset. And so when I became a senior, the teachers there voted me the best student there my 4 years. I was the equivalent of, if you had 4 and 5 star athletes in coming out of school, I was essentially that in communications. When I go to Texas A&M, same thing. I didn't work for the school newspaper. I purposely chose not to work for the school publications because I felt they weren't real. I actually worked at the local newspaper, worked at the local television station, worked at the local radio station. So my mindset was totally different. And I'm gonna give you one, Robbie. You think I'm lying, but this actually happened.
All right.
We had writing assignments in college and 50-minute class. And so they would give you a sheet of paper and they would say, take this set of facts and write a story. Okay, no problem. So I came to class 15 minutes late and I left 15 minutes early.
Okay.
Got the paper back. I made an 84. Professor said, I want to talk to you. She goes, had you applied yourself, you could have made an A. If you had come on time, you stayed the whole time. This is literally what I told her. I said, I didn't care about your A. She said, what? I said, I didn't care about your A. I said, the A was not the mission. She goes, well, what was it? I said, when I graduate, I'm going to have to be able to take a set of facts that I've reported and write a story in 20 minutes. If I do not know how under pressure to write a story in 20 minutes, then I'm not going to be able to do it when I'm actually getting paid for it, which means I'm not going to be able to have a job. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to tell me how I made an 84, how I didn't make a 90 or a 95. And then the next assignment we have, I'm going to walk in here 15 minutes late. I'm going to leave 15 minutes early, but I'm going to know what's required to at least make a 90. See,
that's a good one,
dude. So she was hot. She was ticked with me, and we clashed constantly because I had other professors who pulled me aside who said, Roland, you're not like them.
Right.
You're different. I'm going to teach you differently. So the advice I would say to a younger Roland is to go harder than you do.
And the advice to ignore sounds like don't listen to people that tell you have to fit into this predefined way of what success is supposed to look like.
Bro, seriously, I had an English professor. It was a Tuesday, Thursday class that was an hour and 15 minutes. It was like 8 to 9:15. Had test. He says, I need to talk to you. I said, okay, fine. He goes to this whole deal. You know, you come to my class late. You do this. You make this on the paper. I said, man, look, I don't give a shit about your class.
I'm seeing a pattern. You've been a disruptor early on.
I said, I don't give a damn about your class. I said, I don't give a shit about an A, a B, or a C. I said, let me explain something to you. You want me to read 100 pages of your assignment that actually has no value for me right now. I said, I'm here to get a sheet of paper. I said, a sheet of paper. No one is going to ask me about my grades. No one's going to ask me about my transcript. It's a sheet of paper. This is a conduit to a job.
That's even more true now. It's not even a conduit anymore to a job. It used to be. And I think college is good for some, particular what college you go to for networking and some other things, but you have to learn how to learn.
Yeah, there's value. Let me be real clear. this is not for every discipline.
Yeah.
I am in a skill set business. And so I told him, I said, dude, I'm working for the local newspaper. And if I got a choice between investing 4, 5, 6 hours in my craft of media versus reading your 100 pages, I will never read your 100 pages. I said, so here's the deal. I need you to understand me. I am not wasting my time doing your assignments.
Right.
I'm going to walk out of your class with a D because the time I am going to spend killing myself to make an A or a B, I can apply it to the field I'm trying to go into because I want to make an A there.
Right.
I said, so I said, it's 24 hours. Dude, when I say my man was hot, I said, it don't matter. So he didn't, because I had job offers when I was in college. So what he didn't understand was that I was already fully aware of what my field required. And so high school was my undergraduate.
Right.
College was actually my graduate school. So I walked onto the campus of Texas A&M way ahead of seniors. I was sitting in classes killing seniors in journalism. And so I, in essence, constructed a curriculum and a learning model that was for me for what I'm eventually doing. So that's why in the first year and a half in the business, I got promoted 3 times. That's how I went from a neighbor's reporter to volunteering to work on with Super Tuesday coverage in 1992 to being asked to be a part of our team that covered the Republican National Convention. There were people who had worked at the paper for a decade who had never gotten the opportunity to be a part of the team that covered a national political convention. Bruh, I was on it in 7 months.
I'm going to come back to a little bit of your journey in a minute, but I want to get a sense of what you feel about this current media environment right now. In terms of it's a lot different from when you started then, right? What's your perspective on the current environment and how you have to adapt to this environment?
So I saw today then.
So you saw this trend coming of digital content?
I saw today then.
Okay.
Coach told me in high school, pick one discipline. I said, nope, I'm learning them all. I went to college. Roland, you need to focus on newspaper. Nope. Focus on television. Nope. Focus on radio. Nope. I'm doing all of them. When I got into newspaper, it was the first, you're talking about 1992. I was already there when it comes to computers. I remember covering Hurricane Andrew, and I said, yo, I need the laptop. Folks like, and because what they would do, they would phone in stores. I'm like, no, not going to happen. And when I got to the Fort Worth Star Telegram, same thing. We covered the Branch Davidian when when it burned down. I was a part of the team that did that. And they had these things that were called, they were called Trash 80. The Radio Shack, I think, was a TR-80. And basically it was the, first version of a laptop. Essentially, right. It was a computer that had a 3-line LED screen. It wasn't even a full line. It was like
right.
The character. And so I remember I had to write the story. And I said,
I don't know. See, I'm not quite that seasoned, but I'm old enough.
Bro, this is how bad it is. You send your stories. That's when you had to unscrew the phone.
Oh wow!
Connect the alligator clips to the wires in the phone to transmit your story to the newspaper.
Yeah, I don't even know it. Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
So, and now mind you, this is me. This is me at the computer. I don't know what this is. I'm sorry. I don't. Y'all. Do y'all know what's happening in the world? Now, to understand, Rob, when I see it, when I was in college, we used to have all these trade publications in our journalism library. These were the magazine editor and publisher, broadcast, electronic media, but also we had the publications that publishers and general managers read. Dude, right. They just sat there. I read them. So I was sitting here reading about retransmission, send fin, all these different things. And people are like, man, dude, what you doing? I said, you cannot be in the business and not be a student of your business.
Yeah. I mean,
what are you doing?
Yeah. No, I mean, like the most important asset you have, and no matter what you do, is the ability to learn and keep learning.
That's the piece. So what was happening, I said, no, I'm not about to learn one thing. I'm learning everything. I said, y'all, we're moving. I read a book on the Bingham family. They control the newspapers in Kentucky. They were the first newspaper to go digital. Dude, I'm reading about that. So when I get to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram in 1993, they had this thing called Star Text.
Yeah.
The newsroom was like, man, I don't know what the hell. Dad, I was like, what y'all doing? So I was like, tell me about this here. How y'all doing this here? Bruh, there were 14 floppy disks that you had to load into your computer to load the software. So I'm talking to them. So how does this work? Tell me about it. The rest of the whole newsroom, like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Bruh, I'm down there talking to them. Right. I'm sitting here talking. And so I'm sitting here paying attention. And I'm sitting there going, y'all, this thing about to change. Newsprint prices skyrocketed. News hold decreases. Right. People are mad because they used to write a 25-inch story. Now it's 15, 12 inches. Well, we would have the state of the paper addresses. They would skip it. They were like, man, why you going? I said, because I want to know about the damn business. So I'm learning about, okay, so newsprint prices increase. And so as a result, that's why our news hold went down. Oh, guess what? StarTech had no limit. Yeah. So I was in this constant learning mode. And that's what was, and while it was happening, it was all about skill development, expand knowledge, what's next. So, right. So to that professor who wanted me to focus on his English lit class, what he didn't realize is for the last, for the last 29 years, be 30 years in December. So I started December 30th, 1991. For the last 30 years, I have continued the education. Yeah. I never stopped. That's the difference.
Yeah. I say two things I want to say, then we're going to break into another segment. Can you think about a time you failed and just whatever stays in your mind? Failed might not be the word, setback, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you learned from that and grew from that. And I got one other question. We're going to move into another segment.
There's no such thing to me as failure.
Okay. How did you find it?
There are things that don't go the way you expected, but it's not failure.
Right.
Failure, if you fail to learn from the experience, that's the failure. So when I was fired from Tom Jones, BlackAmericanWeb.com, I acquired a Christian newspaper, and was not easy. Was very difficult. The product looked great, all of those different things, but at the end of the day, didn't have the advertising. Simple as that. Only lasted 6 months. But what I learned from that was tremendous. So that's sort of how I look at it. I don't.
What was the greatest learning lesson from that applies now, you think, from that experience?
It was understanding going in that you can produce an amazing looking, sounding, design well, everything product. But it means nothing if you cannot be able to attract the dollars to pay for it. That's why there are a lot of people, Rob, who, I'm a content creator.
Right.
Okay, looks great, sounds great. Who's going to watch it and who's going to pay for it? See, so a lot of people put, man, all these folks, oh man, and the DSLR camera, oh my goodness, the Canon C300, man, it's awesome. Yeah, but the body of the Canon C300 is $9,000. You add the lenses to it, bruh, it's gonna cost you essentially 20 grand for that package. I'm watching it right here.
Yeah, I mean,
so if I can't pay for that. Oh, it looks great.
Yeah.
I feel good. It looks great. And my peers in the business say, man, it looks fantastic. But who's paying for it? Now, we've been able to build my show where I bought three C300s. But when I started, I had 3 Canon XA25s. And then I bought 3 Canon 4K cameras the following year when we had the additional resources to give us that flexibility, and then went to the C300s. So now I've got 9 cameras, which I can now deploy. I got more than that because I got the robotic cameras. But the point is, you're in this constant state of learning. And what you do is you tell yourself, I can't afford the C300s today, but we can make this look quality, look good, be able to have it paid for. And then when I begin to build the revenue, I now can go to the next level, which means that, and this is the key phrase here, this is the hardest, and anybody who's watching and listening, this is going to totally freak them out. You have to learn how to be content while being ambitious. Content while being ambitious.
Explain that.
Content while still having vision. Content means that if I never ever was able to increase my revenue to afford the 4K cameras, I was content with having the XA25s. I wasn't sitting here going, man, if I could just get that, if I had that. No.
Right.
Good. So when we started my show, we couldn't afford a set. We bought glass tabletop and swivel chairs. That's all we can afford. I did not allow what I could not afford get in the way of producing a great show. So then when I was able in January of 2020 to afford to be able to buy an actual set, I still was like, damn, man, we got the set, but man, the lights, I had to wait. Right. Then I had the money to upgrade the lighting package. I was content with what I had. I was thankful for what I had. I maximized what I had, but I still was ambitious and had vision. But if I never ever was able to go from here to here, I was still happy here because I was still producing high quality here.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Being happy, I guess, not letting it drive you crazy or being stressed about it, but also it sounds like not being satisfied with where you're at either, but not letting it bother you that you're not where you want to be at this moment.
Like a car. Dude, I'm not a car person. I'm not.
I'm not either.
I don't give a damn about a car. But the only car that I have desire, that I crave, is a Dodge Viper. Black on black.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's the deal. The folks at the UAW, Brother General Holyfield, God rest his soul, he knew how I felt about it. He invited me to the UAW plant where they make those.
Yeah.
When he died, the sister took his place, said, Roland, the invitation is still open. And here's the deal, man. Could I have bought the Dodge Viper by now? Yes. Probably going to cost me about $100,000, $120,000. I'm only going to buy that car when I have cleared more than $1 million for 3 consecutive years.
There you go.
So I'm not.
So somebody, you gonna know when I make it because you're gonna see because it's gonna be a serious car because I'm not gonna spend.
So the Lincoln Navigator I have, I paid for it in cash, bought it brand new off the lot, 2008. I've had it for 13 years, brother. It runs just fine. And again, I'm cool with it. I ain't got no problem. I ain't tripping. Somebody keyed the left side. I was pissed, but I'm not about to sit here and get a whole new car. I would drive that sucker. Man, I will go a year and not wash it because I don't care about what you think. And this is the key. What you think, I ain't trying to impress you. It serves my needs. So, but the point is, I know how to live within my means and be happy. I'm not sitting here, man, if I had this, had that. But Rob, if you invited me, if you had a 20,000 square foot house and a private jet, I would say, Rob, way to go. And if you said, Roland, come with me, fly with me on my private jet, I was like, cool, bro. If we flew somewhere on your private jet and I had to fly back, coach.
I like you speaking this to the universe. Let's make this happen. Go ahead.
I had to fly back, coach. I'm good.